Hi guys, today let's understand about the important concepts of ecology such as food chain, food web, ecological pyramid. Okay, so let's start with the concept of energy flow. The function of the ecosystem is based broad, vast, and dynamic. Okay, energy flow, nutrient cycling. See, in this nutrient cycling, this biogeochemical cycles, these are important. These are like carbon cycles, water cycle, hydrogen cycle, oxygen cycle. So this one biogeochemical cycle is important in the nutrient cycling, and ecological succession or ecosystem development. See, based on these three things only, the one ecosystem works. Ecosystem is nothing but where the living organisms and non-living organisms such as gases live together. Okay. Energy flow, we all know the concept of energy flow. Energy is neither created or not destroyed. It will transform from one phase to another phase. Okay, so let's get into detail about the energy flow. So this is basic introduction before knowing about the food web, food chain, and ecological pyramid. So let's cover this one a little faster. Energy flow, basic force responsible for all metabolic activities. Okay, see, normally metabolic activities we all know. Suppose for digestion also heat produced. Digestion is suppose if a human being is there, the digestional activity is nothing but metabolic activity. Whether it is human being or animals, it is the same. So basic force responsible for all metabolic activities. The flow of energy from producer to top consumers is called energy flow, which is unidirectional. See, producers, we all know producer is nothing but plants. Plants are the only producer living on earth. They can only produce their own food. And top consumers, see, I think the previous class we discussed, first the producer comes, plants comes. Then comes the herbivores, like rabbit, all this. Next comes the carnivores, which eat upon the herbivores, like wolf. Next, top carnivores will be there, which will eat both lower carnivores and suppose the lion is there, it can eat wolf and it can eat rabbit also. So, producer, consumer, and top consumer. This is the difference. So, nothing but the flow of energy from producer to top consumer is called energy flow, which is unidirectional. Study of trophic level interaction in an ecosystem gives an idea about the energy flow. So next we will be knowing about the trophic level and all those. So what it is saying is if you study trophic level, automatically it gives an idea about the energy flow through the ecosystem. Okay. So coming to the trophic level interaction. So this, if you study this particular topic, you will get to know how the energy is flowing from the prime producers to top consumers. So let's see this. Trophic level interaction, what it will do is deals with how the members of an ecosystem are connected based on the nutritional needs. That's what members of suppose ecosystem is there, all the living organisms are there. So how they depend on each other for their nutrients, nothing but for their food. Okay, trophic levels. See, this is important. This one you note it down. Autotrophs means producers. That means automatically, which can produce food automatically. That means the green plants. Green plants are nothing but producers. Okay. Next comes the heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are herbivores. That is primary consumers. See, what are the except the green plants, except the producers, rest of them are all consumers only. So all these are called heterotrophs only. Only two divisions are there: autotrophs one, heterotrophs one. In this one, again stage wise. Suppose in the lower level, herbivores will be there. Herbivores will eat on green plants. Next phase, heterotrophs, carnivores will be there. Second, that means, see, the herbivores are primary consumers. Carnivores, the secondary consumers. Herbivores, rabbit. Carnivores, secondary consumers, wolf. Heterotrophs, carnivores, tertiary consumers. Suppose who can eat on the which are the carnivores, secondary consumers, and herbivores also. Heterotrophs, top carnivores, these are called quaternary consumers. Top carnivores. Top carnivores, I think we will have animals like lion, etc. Okay, which can eat both the carnivores and herbivores. So this is the main difference. Mainly we have autotrophs, and rest of them are heterotrophs only. Heterotrophs, herbivores will be there. Herbivores, after herbivores, carnivores, top carnivores. Primary consumers, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary consumers. Okay. Energy flows through the trophic levels. Energy always flows from lower to higher. See that means it is like that only, from lower producer. Mainly first the herbivore eats on producer, carnivore eats on herbivore. So from lower level to higher level only the trophic level started. So there is a loss of energy in the form of unusable heat at each trophic level. Energy level decreases from first trophic level to upwards. So usually 4 or 5 trophic levels. After that, very little energy is left to support an organism. So if you see trophic levels also, mainly it will be to a maximum of 4 to 5 trophic level. Okay, we will see that particular picture where the trophic level is mentioned. Trophic levels are numbered according to the steps of an organism is away from the source of food or energy, that is producer. Trophic level interaction involves 3 concepts, mainly food chain, food web, and ecological pyramids. See, this is a very important concept, food chain. I think this is asked in every question paper. If you see UPSC question papers, MES question paper, or ISRO, in every question paper there will be questions about food chain, food web, and ecological pyramids. Okay, so let's discuss about food chain first. Organisms in the ecosystem are related to each other through feeding mechanism. We already discussed. A sequence of organisms that feed on one another forms a food chain. Okay, a food chain starts with the producers and ends with top carnivores. Already discussed. Sequence of eaten and being eaten produces transfer of food energy, and it is known as food chain. See, nothing but sequence of eaten, that means eating, and being eaten produces transfer. Food chain is very simple. That means rabbit is there, rabbit is eaten by wolf, wolf is eaten by lion. So it's nothing but it's eaten and being eaten. That is the concept of food chain. Okay, plants convert solar energy into, so see, this is the main theme behind the food chain. Plant converts solar energy into chemical energy by photosynthesis. Okay, small herbivores consume plant matter and convert them into animal matter. Okay, by photosynthesis plants produce the energy, then that particular plant was eaten by the herbivore, that means rabbit or whatever, and it consumed the plant material and converted into animal material. These herbivores are eaten by large carnivores. So nothing but that is the food chain. Again, in food chain also we have 2 types. One is grazing food chain, the second one is detritus food chain. See, the grazing food chain is nothing but this is all, it happens in the grasslands. Okay, it starts with producers. Detritus means see, what are the decomposers after a particular animal dies. So the particular process what happens is decomposing. So after that, what food chain is happening, that is called detritus food chain. Okay, so first see briefly about grazing food chain. Consumers which start the food chain utilizing the plant or plant part as their food, constituting the grazing food chain. That means if it is starting from the plants, starting from the producers, then it is grazing food chain. Food chain begins from green plants at the base, and the primary consumer is herbivore. Detritus food chain starts from dead organic matter of decaying animals and plant bodies consumed by the microorganisms, and then to the detritus feeding organism called detrivores and decomposers and to other predators. Okay, it starts from dead organic matter of decaying animals and plant bodies, okay, consumed by the microorganisms, basically decomposing, and then to detritus feeding organism called detrivores and decomposers and other predators. So normally this will be detritus food chain. Example is litter. Suppose if you throw some food scrap, and earthworms will take that, and after earthworms will be eaten by chicken will be eaten by hawk. So this is one is detritus, which starts from the decomposers, this one detritus food chain. So if you see food web, food chain represents only one part of the energy through an ecosystem. That means it's specifying only one part, only one chain, either this detritus food chain or the grazing